Welcome back to Final Whiz. Big Manchester United news today. Bayern Munich are monitoring Benjamin Šeško. United have entered the race for Lewis Hall. Rashford's future has taken another twist, and there's a surprise transfer target you won't believe. Let's get into today's biggest United updates. Benjamin Šeško is currently the centre of one of Manchester United's biggest transfer storylines this summer. Reports indicate that Bayern Munich are still keeping a close eye on the Manchester United striker. The German champions reportedly see Šeško as a long-term successor to Harry Kane, believing his profile fits directly into their future plans. This interest, however, does not mean a transfer is close. At this stage, Bayern are only monitoring the situation, while Manchester United continue to view Šeško as an important part of their long-term project. After arriving for a big transfer fee, the club invested heavily in the Slovenian striker, which means convincing United to sell him would almost certainly require a massive offer. Unless something dramatic happens before the transfer window closes, Šeško is expected to remain at Old Trafford. That said, Bayern's continued monitoring keeps this story alive, and any twist in the coming weeks could shift the situation quickly. For now, the facts point towards stability rather than an imminent exit. If you're new here, this is Final Whiz, and this channel covers Manchester United transfer news as it happens, straight from BBC Sport, Sky Sports, and ESPN. Subscribing means you get these updates before most other channels post them, and it costs nothing to do. If today's report on Šeško, Lewis Hall, or Rashford matters to you, drop a comment with your take once we get there, hit like on the video, and subscribe to Final Whiz so the next update reaches you first. Turning to Manchester United's own pursuit in the market, one of the biggest stories involves Newcastle left-back Lewis Hall. According to Sky Sports, United have already started exploring what it would take to sign the England under-21 international. This interest is not random speculation. It stems directly from United's current squad situation at left-back. Luke Shaw remains the only experienced natural left-back after Tyrell Malacia's departure, which has made strengthening that position a priority for the club heading into the new season. Newcastle do not want to sell Hall, and that stance complicates any potential move. Because he still has several years left on his contract, any deal would likely be very expensive. This combination of Newcastle's reluctance and the player's contract length puts United in a difficult negotiating position. Even so, United continue to assess the market, and Hall is one of the names high on their shortlist. Whether this interest turns into a formal approach will depend on how much United are willing to spend on a single position before the window closes. Another story adds a layer of surprise to United's transfer plans. Reports suggest Manchester United are also looking into whether a move for Arsenal youngster Myles Lewis-Skelly could be possible. The teenager is regarded as one of English football's brightest talents, which explains why any interest from a rival club immediately draws attention. At this point, there is no agreement between the two clubs, and the interest remains at an early, exploratory stage. Arsenal are extremely unlikely to let one of their top young players leave without a fight, given his status within their academy setup and first-team pathway. If this story develops further, it would become one of the most talked-about transfer sagas of the summer, simply because of how rare it is for a club to lose a highly rated academy talent to a direct rival. For now, this remains speculative, and no formal negotiations have been confirmed by either club. Before moving to the next story, here's a quick question worth answering in the comments. Would you sell Šeško if Bayern Munich returned with a genuinely massive offer, or should United hold firm regardless of the number? Type yes or no below. And if you haven't already, tap the like button, It helps this kind of detailed transfer coverage reach more United fans on Final Whiz. Now to an update on Marcus Rashford, whose future continues to generate headlines. After returning from his loan spell at Barcelona, Rashford has continued to receive praise from former Barcelona manager Hansi Flick. Flick admitted that both he and the Barcelona squad will miss Rashford after the England international's contribution during the loan period. Statistically, that contribution was significant. Rashford recorded 14 goals and 14 assists during his loan spell at the Spanish club. Despite those numbers, the loan did not convert into a permanent transfer. Barcelona chose not to activate the permanent option, meaning Rashford has now returned to Manchester United. This decision leaves his situation unresolved heading into the new season. His future is still uncertain, but for now he remains a United player as speculation continues over whether another club will make a move before the transfer window shuts. Manchester United could also see a young forward leave before the window closes. Everton are reportedly interested in striker Ethan Wheatley. The 20-year-old is highly rated and viewed as a player with significant potential within United's academy pipeline. At this stage, Everton are currently exploring the conditions of a possible deal, although no agreement has been reached between the two clubs. The final decision on Wheatley's situation rests largely with the club's football department. Whether United decide to keep him, loan him out, or sell him permanently will likely depend on Michael Carrick's plans for the academy graduates this season. Given the number of young players already pushing for minutes in pre-season, this decision could set a precedent for how United handle other academy prospects moving forward. Away from transfer speculation, United's on-field form has given supporters reason for optimism. The club defeated Atletico Madrid 2-1 in pre-season, with Bryan Mbeumo scoring both goals to complete the comeback. Several individual performances stood out beyond the scoreline. Mason Mount produced one of his best performances in recent memory, controlling the midfield with confidence throughout the match, reinforcing why Carrick values his tactical versatility in central areas. New signing Andrey Santos also continued to impress. Santos looked calm and composed once again, continuing an excellent pre-season campaign, which has given fans reasons to believe he could become a key contributor once the Premier League season begins. His consistency across pre-season fixtures has been one of the more encouraging developments for United's midfield depth heading into the new campaign. The match also produced a historic individual milestone. 15-year-old JJ Gabriel became the youngest player ever to appear for Manchester United's men's first team. Although his involvement was limited to a few minutes, he showed confidence on the ball and looked completely comfortable against experienced opposition. This appearance has fueled belief among supporters that Gabriel could develop into one of the club's brightest academy prospects if his progress continues at the same rate. Following the match, Michael Carrick addressed the media and offered his assessment of the squad's current state. He said there were many positive signs, highlighted the team's spirit and togetherness, and explained that players are continuing to build fitness and understanding ahead of the new campaign. Carrick also praised the younger players for taking their opportunities, while noting that the squad will keep improving as more World Cup players return and new signings settle into the group. Bringing all of these stories together, Manchester United's transfer situation remains fluid across multiple fronts. Lewis Hall remains a serious option at left back. Myles Lewis-Skelly has emerged as a surprise name linked from a direct Premier League rival. Bayern Munich continue monitoring Benjamin Šeško without an active pursuit. Rashford's future remains open following his return from Barcelona, and Everton are showing interest in Ethan Wheatley as a potential departure. At the same time, Results like the win over Atletico Madrid suggest Carrick is assembling a squad capable of competing on multiple fronts once the season begins, regardless of how the remaining transfer business unfolds. So here's the real question heading into the rest of this window. Should United prioritise a marquee move for Lewis Hall, hold firm on Šeško no matter the offer from Bayern Munich, or focus resources on a completely different position? Leave your answer in the comments, because the discussion under these videos is genuinely one of the best parts of covering United right now. If this update kept you informed, hit the like button, subscribe to Final Whiz, and turn on notifications so the next Manchester United transfer story reaches you the moment it breaks.